Okay, so I just got my project working. I made a lot of changes to the code, as you'll see here in the loop. We check until serial is available, we don't do anything. Then once it is, we get the incoming serial information as an integer, we parse it as an integer, and we check if that incoming integer is the same as our local node ID, which is assigned up here. So the local ID based off of which board, and if that incoming ID is the same as our local ID, then we want to flash the light. Otherwise, we want to pass this local ID, or the ID that we just received, onto the next board through TX. And so as you can see here, this provides power for my circuit, but this is the master board right here. Whenever this LED blinks, it's sending a signal through these wires to the chain of boards that follows. So whenever it blinks there, you'll see it blinks here. So watch from this angle is better. You can see it'll blink here, blink there half a second later. And this is all done through these 3 wires that are VCC, common ground between them, and then finally the TX of the main board to the RX of the node board. And my system is designed so that these can be infinitely chained together and have them all function based off their ID. So it is very modular and very versatile if you want to add as many segments as you want. But this is a proof of my project working. Once more, when this LED blinks, it'll send the signal, which will be received half a millisecond later on this one, which blinks. And it looks a little bit jarring when it's not blinking at the same time, but if you look into my code, you will see that this is in fact how this is working. All we have is this upper variable initialization setup loop, and then lastly the activate function. All of my code is on my website. If we head over to the main board here, it's literally just the LED pin and then the serial initialization. I blink the light once to know that the code is working. Then under loop, every 2 seconds, it'll send the ID through to the chain of boards, which will then end up activating the light on those boards.